My name is Matsuyama Ryuta. I'm 26 years old and work for a big company. I've been in a relationship with my girlfriend for 3 years now, and we're both doing well in life. I'd promised to marry her, so I've been secretly preparing to propose. Which ring should I buy? This one would suit her. It's a bit expensive, but I'll go for this one. Just as I decide to buy an engagement ring, the worst thing happened to me. One day, without warning, my company suddenly went bankrupt. I suddenly found myself unemployed, and I hurriedly looked for a new job, but it wasn't easy to find one, and I was at a loss. Just when I was at my wit's end, I lost contact with Kasumi. I believed that she wasn't the kind of person who would just abandon me as soon as I became unemployed, but I was worried, so I decided to go and visit Kasumi's house. I wonder if she's here. It's the first time I've come over unannounced, so I'm a bit nervous. As I climbed the stairs to Kasumi's apartment, the door opened, and when I saw who came out, I couldn't believe my eyes. Next to Kasumi was my brother Jun. They're holding hands and seem to be getting along well. Hey, what's going on? Explain yourself!
Why are you here? How can you just show up here without calling first? How inconsiderate of you!
Without calling first? You're the one who ignored me when I tried to contact you. Jun sighs when he sees me in an agitated state.
What a pain. It's obvious that I'm better than a jobless guy like you, right, Kasumi?
Of course. You were good because you were an elite, but now that you're unemployed, you have no use.
What? According to my brother, when I took Kasumi to our parents' house and he saw Kasumi, he fell in love at first sight and waited for the right moment to make his move. And when I became unemployed, he thought it was his chance and started making moves on Kasumi. When Kasumi started cheating on me, she decided to stop contacting me.
I only want to be with an elite, so if you understand that, get out of my sight quickly.
It's so lame to be unemployed and have your girlfriend snatched away.
Neats are gross.
This is the worst. Kasumi didn't even reflect on what she'd done, and she just dumped me. Even though Jun and I are brothers, our personalities are polar opposites, and we never really gotten along. Unlike me, who works hard at my studies and club activities and gets results, Jun is the type who can do a reasonable job without trying. When I was a kid, Jun would always make fun of me when he saw me practicing soccer so hard.
You can't even do that. You're so lame. Don't tell people I'm your brother because it's embarrassing.
I'll be able to do it if I practice.
No way. You've got no talent. It's no use even if you try. You're a loser.
I've always hated Jun who was like that, and since I became an adult, I barely see him. And yet, just because I met him once at my parents' house, things have come to this. One day, while I was at a loss looking for a job, I suddenly received a call from the president of a company I do business with. When I went to the company, the president, with a pleasant expression on his face, greeted me.
I've been waiting for you. I've been watching your diligent work, and I've been thinking about recruiting you someday.
Is that true?
Yeah, would you like to work for us?
Yes, thank you. The client company was a much bigger company than the one I was working for, so I had no reasons to refuse. When I gave my answer straight away, the president asked for my handshake.
I'm counting on you.
Yes. And just like that, I was employed. I got hired at the head office of a major company, and I started working hard from scratch. After that, I worked hard to learn my job so I could pay back the gratitude I had from the president who helped me at my lowest. I worked overtime for as long as I could, and sometimes even worked on my days off. It had been a long time since I had worked so hard. When I realized how much I was enjoying myself, my motivation increased even more. Thinking about the hopelessness I felt when I was unemployed, I realized how happy I am now. This is all thanks to the president. I'll work hard and learn my job quickly so I can contribute to the company. One day, as I went to work as usual, and while waiting for the elevator, a beautiful woman suddenly called out to me.
Where's the president's office?
The president's office is up here. Would you like me to show you the way?
That would be great!
Her name was Saijo Yukina, and she was a refined and pretty woman. Business with the president. She has a pretty face. Maybe she's actually an elite member of some company. As I was showing her to the president's office, Yukina suddenly started to get dizzy. Is everything okay?
I'm sorry. I think I'm a little dizzy.
And she suddenly fainted, so I held her in my arms. Are you okay? I'll call an ambulance. Paramedics rushed over, and I went with her to the hospital. It seems Yukina fainted from anemia. The doctors told me she could go home after waking up from the IV. I was waiting in the hospital room when Yukina finally woke up after a while. You're awake! You fainted from anemia at work. Do you remember?
Yes, you brought me to the hospital.
Yeah, I just accompanied you.
Thank you. I can't thank you enough for going to such lengths for a stranger like me. How can I thank you?
It wasn't that big of a deal. Oh, I forgot to call the office. I'll give them a call.
Leave it to me.
Then Yukina makes a call. A short while later, the president came to the hospital room. President?
It was you who saved my daughter, wasn't it? Thank you.
Daughter? You're the president's daughter?
Yes.
I was surprised to learn that Yukina was the president's daughter. She was the president's daughter. I hope I didn't say anything rude. Anyway, I better get back to work. I'll be off to work now.
Thank you so much for today.
Not at all. Well then. A few days later, as I was leaving work, Yukina called out to me.
Ryuta!
What's up? Are you waiting for the president?
No, I was waiting for you. I wanted to thank you for the other day. If you don't mind, would you like to go out for a meal with me?
You don't have to thank me.
I really want to thank you. Is that a nuisance?
It's not a nuisance at all. I'll take your word for it then. Then, I accepted Yukina's invitation and went to an Italian restaurant. The classy interior made me nervous. As we ate, I found myself becoming attracted to Yukina's personality.
Where do you usually go to eat?
I often go to the local pub. Oh, but when I'm tired, I go to a yakiniku restaurant. I need to build up my stamina.
Yakiniku, huh? I'm actually anemic, so I go to the hospital sometimes, and sometimes I collapse like the other day. The doctor told me to eat meat.
Really? Then how about going to a yakiniku restaurant together next time? I know a good place. I'll take you there.
Yes, I'd be happy to.
I started inviting Yukina to go out for yakiniku. As the time we spent together increased, I became attracted to Yukina's honest personality, which was free of pretension. Before I knew it, I found myself wanting to spend more time with her.
After we started going to the yakiniku restaurant together, my anemia improved a lot. Thanks to you.
I'm glad to hear that.
How about going to my favorite bar after this? It's just around the corner.
Sure. I'd be so happy if we could stay together like this. But I can't forget that she's the president's daughter. Let's go home before it gets late. My feelings for Yukina were growing stronger every day, but I was worried that I wouldn't be able to move forward because I was being careful not to offend the president. Then one day, I went to the company barbecue, and there I saw the president and Yukina. Yukina smiled and waved at me when she saw me. Yukina's so cute, but the president was next to her. I had to be careful not to get too excited. I was in charge of grilling the meat, so I took every opportunity to bring Yukina some of the grilled meat. Here you go.
Thanks.
Eat lots of meat and get your anemia back to normal.
Yeah!
It was a big group, so grilling the meat was unexpectedly hard work, and by the time I finished, I was exhausted. I decided to take a short rest by the river. It was fun, but I'm tired. Next time I don't want to be in charge of grilling the meat if I can help it. Then, suddenly Yukina came and sat next to me.
Good work!
Yukina! Did you eat a lot?
Yeah, thanks to you.
I see. That's good. At that moment, Yukina suddenly grabbed my hand. What?
Thank you for always looking out for me.
When I looked at Yukina's face, she was smiling with her cheeks red. At that moment, I couldn't hold back my feelings for Yukina any longer. You know, when I was about to tell her how I felt, I heard the president's voice behind me. President!
Dad!
Seeing your actions today, I'm sure you can make my daughter happy.
What?
I heard that you and Yukina are getting along well. Don't worry about me, continue to get along well. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you. That means I can confess my feelings, right? What should I do? I'm starting to get nervous. After the president left, silence flowed for a while. Yes.
I like you, Ryuta. I've been helped out by you a lot, but from now on, I want to be able to do the same thing for you.
I'm happy just having you here. If it's okay with you, please go out with me.
Yes.
After that, we started going out and gradually grew closer. I'm a bit shy, not really the masculine type, but she was kind and always stayed close to me without getting annoyed. Our relationship was surprisingly smooth, and I was filled with a happiness that was unlike anything I'd experienced before. Walking around town holding hands on our day off. It was a simple thing, but I was just so happy when Yukina was by my side. Time flew by when I was with Yukina, and before I knew it, a year had passed since we started going out. I had decided that I would propose to her after a year of going out. And then the day of our first anniversary came. I asked Yukina out to dinner, and she said she wanted to go to the yakiniku restaurant we usually go to, so I decided to propose there. We enjoyed our meal as usual, and when our stomachs were full, I took the ring out of my bag, feeling nervous. I have something important to tell you.
What?
Will you marry me, Yukina? When I offered her the ring, Yukina held her mouth shut and froze for a while. Oh, maybe I'm being too forward. You don't have to answer now.
Of course I'll say yes. I've been wanting to get married for a while, so I'm really happy.
Really? I'm so glad. I was so nervous. I never imagined proposing at a yakiniku restaurant.
Yeah!
That moment when we laughed together was the happiest moment of my life. Now that we're engaged, we immediately headed to our parents' house to tell them the news.
I'm getting nervous.
It'll be fine. My parents aren't that uptight.
But it's the first time we're meeting them, so I'm still a bit nervous.
Yeah, but I'm here too, so it'll be fine. When we arrived at my parents' house, they were waiting for us with smiles on their faces.
Welcome.
It's been a while. Let me introduce you. This is Yukina, my girlfriend.
It's nice to meet you. What a beautiful young lady.
Thank you for taking care of our son.
Please come in. Thank you for having me.
As we were chatting over tea in the living room, it seemed that my parents had taken a liking to Yukina, and I felt relieved. The mood had become more relaxed, and I was about to finally tell them about our marriage when Yukina said she was going to the bathroom and left the room. At that moment, the front door opened. Someone's here. Could it be? When the living room door opened, June and Kasumi came in.
Ah, you were here too? That's good. I came to tell you about my marriage. I'm getting married to Kasumi.
Who would have thought? Ryuta's going to be my brother-in-law. Let's get along well.
How can you say that with a straight face?
I'm embarrassed to have a brother who's a NEET because his company went bankrupt and can't tell anyone. You're useless, and you're just like trash. You're unemployed, so you'll probably stay single for the rest of your life.
That's a bit much.
It's the truth. He's even lower than trash.
Look at this guy talking all he wants. When I try to say something back, Yukina comes back.
Who do you mean by trash? Huh? Who are you? I'm sorry for the late greeting. I'm Saijo Yukina, and I'm in a relationship with Ryuta.
Huh? How can you date a NEET?
Ryuta is not a NEET. He works for my father's company.
Your father's company?
When I handed out my business cards to June, he found out that I had been employed at the head office of a major company, and he became envious. Today, we also came to report our marriage. I'm marrying Yukina.
Marrying the daughter of the president of a major company? Why are you with a better woman than me?
What's that supposed to mean?
Stop it! Stop saying stupid things! Take that woman with you and go home! Damn it!
If I'd known this would happen, I wouldn't have broken up with you. Ryuta, let's start over. You still have feelings for me, don't you?
Of course not.
No way!
You're engaged to me, and you're trying to get back together with Yuta?
You said that woman over there was better than me too! You're the worst!
When the two of them started arguing, my father finally loses his temper.
You two are not allowed to come here anymore. June, I can't think of you as family anymore for taking your brother's girlfriend. I'm cutting off all ties with you.
Huh! That's enough. Let's go home.
After the two of them left, I was able to talk to my parents about marriage in peace. I was so relieved that I would never have to see June again since we cut ties with him. I also reported our marriage to the president, and preparations for the ceremony began. The preparations went smoothly, and before I knew it, the day of the ceremony had arrived. The bride and groom entered the venue.
It's finally time. I'm getting nervous.
Me too. As the announcement for the bride and groom's entrance was made, we entered the hall at the direction of the staff, and there was a huge round of applause. Oh, I'm super nervous. There's so many people. As I looked around the hall, I caught sight of a man approaching from the entrance. Who is that? It's June!
You're right. We didn't invite him.
No, we didn't. June walked straight over here. And when he stands in front of me, he suddenly threw the beer he was holding in my face. What the hell are you doing?
Why are you, my little brother, getting a job at a better company than me and marrying the president's daughter?
The mood at the venue suddenly changed from one of celebration to silence.
I absolutely won't allow your marriage. Cancel the wedding.
You were cut off by Dad the other day. I don't need your approval. Get out of here.
You think you could just walk all over me?
As he said this, June overturned a nearby table.
I'm going to ruin this wedding. Don't think you can live a better life than me.
Stop! At the moment I shouted this, a man stood up at the table that June had overturned.
Stop it!
President? Why are you here?
The father of the bride is the president of one of our business partners. Don't you know that?
That's why the company name looked familiar.
I don't want someone like that in my company, who can't even congratulate his family on their marriage in front of so many people. You're fired!
No!
And so, after causing a scene at my wedding, June was fired from his job and taken away by the staff and security. June was taken to the security room and lectured by the security guards for a long time. But he had just been fired from his job, so he was absolutely devastated.
What kind of nerve do you have acting like that at a wedding? You almost ruined the most important day of his life. Do you understand? He said I was fired, right? That means I'm unemployed? A NEET? No way!
Hey, are you listening? June, who was fired from his job, became a single unemployed man he used to trash.
Why did this happen?
After June was fired from his job, he was left to wander the streets. It seems that as soon as June became unemployed, Kasumi stopped contacting him. According to rumors, he had reported his marriage to his friends and had been using his company's credit card to pay for his wedding. But when the marriage broke up, he couldn't tell anyone and moved out of the prefecture to escape. It seems that June had not been saving any money up until then, and when his income dried up, he was unable to pay the rent and was evicted from the apartment he was living in. It seems that June, who had lost his place to live, was wandering around from Manga Cafe to Capsule Hotel while looking for work. My parents said that they never wanted to see June's face again after the wedding, and declared that he would never be allowed to set foot on their property again. This finally allowed us to cut all ties with June. I made a firm vow to never get involved with him again. As for me, when my marriage life with Yukina began, I started to regularly have meals with my father-in-law, the company president.
I'm so happy that you become my son!
You always say the same thing when you drink, Dad.
Living with Yukina makes me happy every day, and I sincerely hope that this life will continue forever. The president looked at us with a smile. From now on, I want to always remember to be considerate so that I can live happily with Yukina.
Ryota, please take good care of Yukina.
Yes, of course! And I want to do my best for the company too. For the president who reached out to me in my time of need.
Wasn't that lovely? Like and subscribe for more videos. See you again!